What is up, DoMoreLifers, and welcome to today's live stream. As a topic, I'm going to talk about my first day in Thailand and what it was like when I arrived, what happened, how I felt, how nervous and anxious I was, pretty much how scared, terrified, and all that stuff I was. And yet, 2.5 years later, still here. And I'm very happy I'm still here. This is a great place to be, and I love Thailand. So, with that being said, good morning to Mr. Robert, Mac, Joseph. Prep for it, Mike, and did I cover everybody? Mike, yeah. Good morning, guys. It's good to see you all in here, and I'm sure maybe some people will join us later. There is Jordana. Good morning, Andy. Good morning. Good to see you guys in here as well. So, my first day in Bangkok, or my first day in Thailand, I should say, was in Bangkok. I came from the Philippines after living there 9 months. I came from the Philippines and I arrived. Hello, Bobby. I arrived at Savannabhumi. I can never say it right. Airport. Hey, Robert. And when I got off the plane, good morning, Steve. When I got off the plane, I was just pretty much one nervous ball of energy because I packed everything I owned into 3 luggage pieces and a book bag, and booked an Airbnb for a week here in Thailand, and said somehow I'm going to make this work. Now, at the time, I did have a monthly income coming in that was just around about $1,500. So I knew I could afford to stay here for a while, but the problem was the visa situation. Wreckman, what's up? Hello to you. Todd, what's happening, man? Good to see you. But I came in with only those things. And I remember thinking at the airport, you've got a couple days to find a place to live, and then you got a couple days to find out about immigration. I was like, wow, what's up, Gordon? Good to see you, man. So basically what happened was I got to the airport and I got here early. I took a Cebu Pacific flight to get to Thailand, and I got here early, super early. And after I got here, I decided just to hang out at the airport for a little while. And after I got my luggage, went and got something to eat there, and went out to where the taxis are, or I went through immigration, got a stamp. I got a 30-day stamp when I initially arrived, and went to the Airbnb I had booked. It was in a great location, central Bangkok. What's up, Mr. Mitch? Good to see you, sir. I remember sitting down and eating at the airport, and had a massive attitude, anxiety plus gratitude attack. I was so thankful to be going from the Philippines, but I was so nervous about coming into Thailand because I knew nothing about it. And in Thailand, in the Philippines, at least the language barrier wasn't quite as much of a problem. Here, it was a big deal. Luckily, on the day I arrived, I found out that the English barrier where I was living was not too bad. The gratitude attack they were invented here. I think you're right. But I get off and I go to this Airbnb, and it's multi-roomed and that kind of thing, but it had air conditioning and the whole 9 yards. I slept well the first night. A little bit nervous, but I still slept pretty good. And the next day, I just started beating the pavement. I got on the MRT and the BTS, and I just rode. I looked at my cell phone on the GPS coordinates where I was going, and didn't have any idea where I wanted to stay. I just knew that I wanted to stay somewhere in Bangkok. So I wound up finding a place, and it was literally because what I would do is I just got off at each station on the BTS or the MRT and would walk around the areas of that station, because I knew at that time I was going to have public transport in order to get anywhere. So I got off and walked around all those. And luckily I was able to find, and you guys can, Robert, if you want to link the video, you can. It's my first apartment in Bangkok. It was 6,000 baht a month. It was fairly far outside the city, but at the same time, it wasn't so far. I didn't know what I was going to do at that point. I didn't know if I was going to teach or what the visa situation was over here in Thailand exactly. I didn't know much about anything except I had to get into Thailand on a tourist visa. What's up, Bonji? Good to see you, man. Thanks for dropping by. And so I came in, and I got that place, and what I did, Prep Force says, good idea to find a place near public transportation. Yep, I agree. I'm sharing this with you guys so that if you come over here and you don't have a plan, maybe you can use a similar plan to what I'm talking about. Walking there says location is important when choosing a place to stay in Bangkok. Yes, it is. It definitely is, because there's a ton of difference in living in Bangkok and living on the outskirts of Bangkok. Big difference. It takes a long time to go short distances, and it just is what it is. It's kind of rough. But anyway, so I found a place next to an MRT station, and Joseph's keeping up over there. We're trying to get 50 likes again today. I think we can do that. And I was very happy with it. The 6,000 baht a month included the rent, the internet. This apartment had a full kitchen, and it was had a master bedroom too. So it had the bedroom, and I had the kitchen, and then the main living area and the bathroom. It was pretty cool. The only thing it didn't have was hot water, and I was just blown away that it didn't have hot water. PBJ Time says, did you get something that was month to month? Yes, I did. And the way I did that was I just paid, so the rent was 6,000 baht a month. I just paid for 3 months because I knew I could stay here at least that long on, because I could get 2 stamps and a tourist visa. I knew I'd be okay staying that long. And so I paid 18,000 baht up front. I paid my rent for all 3 months up front. And that was a smart decision, even though I wound up leaving after 6 weeks because I found a job in Rayong and went to teach down in Rayong. But back to my first day. The first day when you're moving to live somewhere versus the first day when you're vacationing somewhere is 2 entirely different feelings, and I'm going to explain that to you. Wreckman says, or chat with a good Thai woman and get a guide translator all in one. That's true. Joseph said, need more likes. I like that. So I'm at the airport. I get in a taxi, and I'm very, very nervous. The Airbnb owner that I went and stayed with was an American. So that was good because I could at least talk to him. He had been here in Bangkok and in Thailand for, I think he said 7 years or 8 years, something like that, a long time. He knew his way around Bangkok very well, and I was very happy to be very, very happy to be a part of that Airbnb cycle anyway. And on the first day, I didn't have the vacation enthusiasm that most people would have. I had more of the anxiety. I was relieved that I was out of the Philippines, but I was anxious about what the future held in terms of Thailand. So the whole first day was spent basically. Good morning, Stuck. Good to see you, man. The whole first day was basically spent eating and getting to my Airbnb. I got there and was explained where the grocery stores were and that kind of thing, but you couldn't have food in the Airbnb. I brought a little in anyway in my backpack because I had to have something to snack on. And it didn't have a TV in the room or anything like that. I went and bought at the airport. As I got off the plane. This is something that you guys might want to do. As I got off the plane, I exchanged some cash, and I also at the airport went down and got a SIM card. I got an AIS SIM card that time. It didn't. Roger, what's up, man? Don't worry, your Sooners won. I hear you, bud. Lost my train of thought again. I made the cash transferred from pesos into baht, which was sad. And then I got a SIM card for my cell phone. And yep, there's the link to the apartment, the 6,000 baht apartment video right there. Stuck. Thank you very much for putting that up. I was in there, and I'm thinking to myself, I got the prepaid SIM card. So basically, what I got was for about 1,050 baht, roughly about $35. I got 30 days worth of unlimited internet, up to 300 megabytes per second speed. I've never reached that here in Thailand on my phone, but nevertheless, it was 4G, and I could make some calls here in Thailand, and I could also hotspot. Wow! Let's get some PayPal kicked off here. Very good to you. With a challenge. Roger McGee, love you, man. $25 right off the bat. And he says, who's going to match this? I hear you, brother. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Roger. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. I would be interested to see who matched that. As a matter of fact, that would be quite cool. This one reason when I'm not traveling, which by the way, next weekend I may travel just a little bit. I may go somewhere on Saturday. I'm looking at a place and thinking about going on a day trip. I'm just not sure if I can do it all in one day. More to come on that throughout the week, because I got a good video on Pattaya coming up for you, or Pattaya, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. Then I have actually I have two videos from Pattaya. The 20 baht smoothie video was ruined, so I'm going to have to go back at some point and do that 20 baht smoothie, because once I show you guys where it is and how they make the smoothie, it may encourage you to move to Pattaya or the Jomtien area. It's incredible. The best smoothie I've ever had in my life, and I ruined the audio on it because I didn't plug the microphone in all the way. But anyway, nevertheless, Roger, thank you again for the $25, and I appreciate that. And we'll see who matches you. Somebody will. Walking says, I stayed in a backpacker hostel near Kosan Road for 270 baht a night for a month. It was super fun. I'm not that guy. I am just not that guy. Walking ATM. I'm just not that guy. I'm not the guy that can stay in a hostel with a bunch of people. I just sleep is just too important. Hello, JoJo. We were just talking about you and me having to make another trip down there because I ruined our smoothie video. JoJo also dropped her smoothie on my foot. That was kind of funny. But anyway, back to the first day in Bangkok. I got settled in. I went to the grocery store. I got the cell phone SIM card put in, so I had cell signal. I was able to contact my family back home and let them know I'd made it safely, and there was nothing to worry about. Um, he says it was the hostel was very spacious and comfortable. I wore earplugs and slept like a baby. I hear you, man. If I put earplugs in my ear, I can't sleep because I can hear my heartbeat, and my heart makes it skips a beat sometimes, and so I hear boom, 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 boom. It's like here's some weird stuff, and it's all right, Mr. Mitch. I hear you. But that was pretty much my first day in Thailand. I got the sale, I got the cash exchanged, I got the uh, I got here, which was the main thing in Thailand. I was so relieved to be here. I had no problem with immigration, no problem with anything. I was studying the rules left and right of the country, and I knew it was a Southeast Asian country, so it was going to be about saving face, and was very respectful. I actually got here during Songkran, and there were people shooting water guns, and I had my camera equipment with me. It was just it was not ideal, but I got it done. Eric says, "Is it possible to get an unlimited data plan for your phone where you can hotspot everything or use it solely for streaming?" Yes, the answer is yes. But I will tell you, in my experience, the 4G that they have over here is not. It's just not quite fast enough to hotspot everything. Like if you want to hotspot your American phone from a Thai phone, and so you can use like internet calling or whatever, it's enough to do that. But I wouldn't say that your cell phone is going to be able to hotspot 1080p video, that kind of thing. So, but then again, it depends on what part of the country or what part of the city you live in, or what part of the country you live in. So never say never. But it's theoretically, yes, Eric, it is possible. Jedi says, question, I go to Thailand for 2 weeks. I'm from Cali. I take my iPhone. Would it work for me to make calls or use the internet? Well, if you have T-Mobile, it'll work, but you only get 2G on the internet. So your best bet is to buy a really cheap cell phone that has a Thai cell phone or a cell phone that you can put a Thai SIM card in. Buy a package for the Thai SIM card, and then hotspot. Turn on the Wi-Fi and hotspot that to your phone. That would be my suggestion. Mike says, sounds like you'll get to it. Probably not in today's video, but what was your biggest motivator for getting a job teaching English versus insert another profession here? I got a job teaching English because I knew I could do that. And that's a fair question, Mike. I knew I could do that, and I didn't even look for other jobs. What happened was the real motivation for teaching English, and I'm not going to lie to you, was to be able to stay on a long-term visa. I love Thailand so much. There was no other visa option for me. Not that I could afford. So really the main reason I started teaching was to be sure I got a visa. And then I started teaching, and I like teaching. But you're right. I'll get there. Robert Mack says, I used hotspot in dark side of Pattaya, and that fan worked great. That phone worked great. Cool. True and AIS. Yes, I currently have True and AIS in there now. So yeah, it works. It works really well for me. And as time went by, I learned a few tricks of the trade. I went to Rayong. what happened was I was here for about 6 weeks, and I had done just research on Thailand visas and how long you can stay in Thailand and all this other stuff. And I talked to an attorney, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to teach English. And don't forget, this was also the part of me coming off of government dependency too from America. I that was part of my plan as well. So it was time. It was definitely time for me to um, do that, and I did. So what I did was I started going back to work, and or I posted a resume online, and about 4 hours later, I got a call from English program director in Rayon, and I told him I could meet him in 2 days. So I went down 2 days later, met him, came back to Bangkok, and then started the following Monday. So, things worked out pretty well there. I was very happy with the way all that stuff panned out, and it was good. It was really good. It was good for me. It was good for me to go back to work, and it was good for me to understand how the education system works over here in Thailand. It's very different from Western education. Let's see. Eric says, is there a minimum number of years you have to teach to fulfill a long-term visa? No, but there is, you have to have, so you get 3 teaching waivers and or 6 years. Okay, so each waiver is designed to give you a teaching license here in Thailand. As long as you have a bachelor's degree, you get a teaching license and you get a waiver for 2 years. Now, if you leave during the middle of that 2 years, you lose that waiver, so you have to get another waiver when you go to another job if you want to teach. After your waivers are up, you must enroll. You must be enrolled or must possess at minimum a secondary diploma in education of some kind. Most other people get master's secondary diplomas, that kind of thing. Second Florida says that Phantom that Robert mentioned is North Esan, where check and pay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My fault. My bad. Sorry, Robert. But anyway, oh, here comes a big question. Jedi says, question, can I get a teaching job with a bachelor's in ethnic studies and a resume with jobs working as ESL professional? I don't have a master's, not planning to. Yes, you only need a bachelor's degree in any field to get a teaching job over here. But I'm saying if you want to teach long term over here, eventually you're going to need a post-secondary education degree. And it also wouldn't hurt, even though you have experience, to have a TEFL or TESOL. I got my TEFL when I was still in the Philippines. So, I wouldn't, I came over here with a bachelor's degree and a TEFL, and I had no issues getting a job. So if you're looking to do something like that, you can definitely do it. And it's a long process. It's a hard process the first time you do it, and then it gets kind of, easier and easier, that kind of thing. Roger, nobody's met your challenge yet, man. I don't even think they know about it. You better type it up or something. That was I haven't seen. You don't need to type it up. I can just show it again. Roger kicked off the PayPal with the morning and a challenge, just so you guys know. He said $25, and he says, who's going to match this? So Roger has put a little cash challenge out there, which we haven't. We don't see many of them anymore, but it's always fun when you guys do that. I love it. Mango Sticky Rice. Aloha, Jeremy. You had mentioned that the education is a lot different in the Western world. How so? I'll make a whole video on that, but the main differences are I don't know how to describe it to you without really going into depth. Mango sticky rice, and I apologize for that. Just take my word for it. The teaching is not different, but first and foremost, you don't have the rights as a teacher that you have like in the Western world. Like the students dictate whether or not you have a job. That's one thing. Then you're expected to do things outside of your contract, and that gets a little weird sometimes. Sometimes there's overtime paid for certain things, sometimes they're not. If you're enjoying this content, please hit the thumbs up button. And there's some other that's a good idea to do a whole video on mango sticky rice, and I will get to that at some point. I promise you, I'll make a whole video on that. It's a great question. Walking says, I heard the money is much better in South Korea to teach. I've got a friend works in South Korea. We make basically the exact same thing. So it depends on what level. Like if you teach at an international school here, you can make between 60 and 120,000 baht a month. That's a great living, but you're going to work hard for it. Stuck in Florida says Jedi Chris, no C word and no S word. Thanks. Oh yeah, that's making sure we don't agitate YouTube any. Jedi says, what's the website to that certificate program you mentioned? Can you type it, please? No, it's a TEFL. All you need to do is Google TEFL. TEFL. And if you put TEFL up there, Google TEFL, it'll give you 100,000 options, and you can pick whatever course suits you more. Yes, Joseph, more likes. I agree, more likes. We got 26. We're halfway there. Eric says, is there a set curriculum they lay out for you, or do you make up your own to teach? How many students do you have? It depends on where you're teaching. If you're teaching at a government school, you're going to have to do most of your, or if you're in a private school with normal classrooms, you're probably going to, most likely you will have to do your own lesson plans, paperwork. They will give you a curriculum, but you have to set up the lessons and make your own exams, all that stuff. If you're teaching in a private school, you may or may not have to do that. Like the only thing I have to do is lesson plans. The curriculum, the exams, assessments, all that stuff is already laid out for us. Rob Max says, stuck in Florida, absolutely correct. Actually, like the area by the Phantom along the Mekong River. I tried to chat with Lao people coming to that Phantom for days. Hopping was fun. You're welcome, Mango. Shopping was fun. Gotcha. Addy, what's up, Addy? Howdy from Ozzy. He's been writing books, I'm sure. Been uploading. Yep, there he goes. Been uploading audio books about Australia. Coming to Pattaya soon. Cool, man. Steve says, in your opinion, better neighborhood to live in, Riverside or Succumbent Soy 77 on Nut? I don't know, man. That's a good question, Steve. Good question. I don't know enough about the two locations to give you a 100% answer that would make good sense. That I'm not sure. I don't know. Emma's channel says TEFL certificates are a good starter course for dipping into the teaching waters. That's true. I taught for a TEFL certificate program. Many people do. Many people do. You can actually get a bachelor's in TEFL. Like you can get a bachelor's degree. The It's not. It's a bachelor's of TEFL. So it's pretty cool. Jedi Chris says, appreciate the feedback. You're more than welcome, sir. Emma says, I strongly recommend finding one depending on your budget. Yep. You got to love Thailand. What's up, man? Hello to you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. And Emma says she has a master in Tesla. So there you go. Go for it. Y'all can do it. Good attitude. I like to hear that. Emma, thank you. Addie says, suck and vent, I reckon, Buzz. I don't know. I don't know enough about that area to be able to give you a 100% straight up a piece of advice on whether or not you should move to one area or the other. That would be wrong of me to do. You guys know if I don't know what I'm talking about, I don't say anything. So, sorry, got a message coming in here. And one more, and then I'll be right back with you guys. This happens when I'm on live stream. Okay. So, Jedi says, DoMoreLife, did you get a master's in the U.S. before? No. I'm so much in school debt and discouraged in getting a master's. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. That, you know, a bachelor's degree will get you a job over here. I got a bachelor's in health communications, which was a brand new program at the time. It was made for people that wanted to be like pharmaceutical sales reps and people that wanted to work in the sales of, you know, medical technology or whatever. So, yeah, that's kind of what I did, and I enjoyed the not getting the master's because, like you, I have plenty of student debt, and it's very hard to pay off. Very hard to pay off, and especially when you come over here, because when you make good money over here, that's one thing. But when you compare it to what you could be making back home, that's a whole nother. Now, if you've worked as a teacher in either high school or college in America or Canada or wherever, if you worked as a teacher, well, I better not say wherever, definitely America and Canada, then you could come over here and work at an international school at a high level, starting off, and high pay for sure. Walking says school debt can set you back many years, not worth it. I agree, but at the same time, if I hadn't got my bachelor's degree, I wouldn't be in Thailand either. So, you know, I just look at both sides of the story and see what I can do. Let's see here. Walking. Sorry, guys. I just got a really weird email from that was a survey from YouTube. I had YouTube on and I was looking at it. Survey. Mango sticky rice. I'm sure you've heard of dude. That name on my channel, I'm just going to remove it because he is one of the people. I'm going to remove your comment because he is one of the people that has put out threats, put out nasty videos against me, and I want nothing to do with him in any way, form, or fashion. Mike says, Jedi Chris, due to it, there are grants, i.e., don't need to pay back. That's true. You can get now for higher ed, MA, MS. Wow. I guess there are a lot of grants. Jedi says, yeah, I've taught through an emergency credential in ninth grade for 1 year and paraprofessional in the middle schools. Hope that levels it with just the bachelor's alone. Should be okay with the bachelor's. No problem, Mango. There was no way that you could possibly know that. So no problem at all. Don't worry at all. I could tell you more about that too, but I'm not going to on this live stream. Prep for it says I would visit Thailand as a tourist first, maybe for a few times before deciding on any type of employment. Choose the area you will be living in wisely. And you are 1,000,000% correct, Prep for it. I wish I would have had the time to do that. I felt pressured to get it done, and I got it done. So I just had to go push through it, get it all done, and I didn't because I didn't have any options. And yes, that was a great idea. Definitely want to find out if you're going to move over here to work. You want to find out where you want to work at and where you want to live. Because like when you get stuck when you get a job and you don't want to live far from that job, I don't live very far from my job. I would look at where I'm living, the surroundings, what's the food like? Am I going to be happy here? Is this going to be a place that I can see myself staying at long term? Things like that. So, we have to, we got another PayPal. We got another PayPal. Ooh. One hungry traveler sent $10 and said, I will send another $10 for every 50. There you go. There you go, guys. Sorry, I got another message coming in. One second. And thank you again to One Hungry Traveler and to Roger. Now, we were, Ramcat says, Thailand Rob's friend Fawn is a teaching job placer. I wonder if that means she works for an agency. I'm not sure. I would try to stay away from agencies if at all possible. Eric says, is your 9 to 5, 5 days a week? Yes, it is, but it could be expanding soon. Todd says teaching job, never a 9 to 5 gig. No, it's more like 7:30 to 4:30 or 8 to 4:30 or something like that. It's not a. It really hinders you when you want to travel. Like when you have to wait for holidays to travel, and we just got 10 more in from PayPal. Let me go out and see who this nice gentleman was. Love the content and take care. Love the content and the care taken with answering questions. That's awesome, man. Thank you. I won't put his name up here, but he's in the stream now. Another 10. That's awesome. So, Robert, you just keep track of your 10 there, buddy. And thank you very much for that, sir. I appreciate it very much. Emma says, that's my idea. I've been to different places in Thailand. You shouldn't settle on just any teaching job abroad. Footprints is a good agency, though. I've heard about Footprints. I've never used an agency. Never used an agency to get a job, but it's always been direct hire. I did that because I thought that was the right thing to do. I'm not saying all agencies are bad, but I tend to. I've worked with a lot of teachers that have went through a lot of agencies, and they always seem to have a bad experience. But there's no doubt there are good agencies out there. And Emma, you sound like you know what you're talking about. So if you say Footprints is a good one, then maybe if you guys are interested, you should try Footprints. I will be down for that. Oh, wow. Mr. Doorman. Mr. Doorman. I can't cover up just his last name, but the doorman just sent 10. So, Robert, you've got a challenge started here, buddy. You and Roger have got a challenge started here. And I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. All right. So Mike is asking, knowing what you know now, what would you say to yourself in your first month, or what few things might you do differently had you had to do it over again? I'm not suggesting you have regrets, but no. That is an excellent question, Mike. Excellent question. I'm glad you asked it. If I knew what I knew now and could do it all over again, I would not have taken the job in Rayong. I would have waited. I would have probably stayed around the Bangkok area, because jobs around here, even entry level jobs, tend to pay a little bit more. I would have likely found a way to stay in the country long enough, or go to Taiwan or something like that, so that I could do an online course and go ahead and have my bachelor's degree in education. Use the credits from my bachelor's degree, have it transferred to an education degree. I mean, if you have a 4-year education degree here, you don't need a waiver for teaching license. You automatically get teaching license because you have a bachelor's degree in education. So I would have a bachelor's degree in education. Actually, I would have probably had that bachelor's degree of education from back home, to be honest with you. My goal, as in case you guys don't know, I was recovering from about a decade of substance abuse and that kind of thing. And my goal was to get to college and to get a degree. It took me 6 years to get a bachelor's degree, but because I had to take so many remedial courses. And I am extraordinarily happy that I'm the first person in my family to get a college degree, period. And that's something I'm proud of for myself, not bragging on myself. I'm just proud of it. So to answer your question, Mike, which is a very good question, I would have came over here with a degree in education, or I would have gotten one quickly. The other thing I would have done is moved to a better location in Bangkok to look for a job. That's what I would have probably done better. Instead of looking for Rayong. Don't get me wrong. There's some good things about going to Rayong. I made a lot of content down there. I was able to make a lot of content about Pattaya. I learned how to rent motorbikes. I learned how to buy motorbikes. I got my driver's license over here. But if I knew the process of how everything worked before, what I would have probably done is applied over at the embassy in the Philippines for a 90-day non-B visa coming over here. That would have made the job search so much easier and the visa process so much easier. So that's kind of what I would do different that I can think of right off the top of my head. And yeah, but I do regret a few things, and it's okay to have a couple of regrets, but I don't want, I try to make more. I try to do more life and not do more regrets. I don't really focus on my past too much. I only try to see what's in front of me and what's coming, and how good life is right now. And life's pretty good right now. What would happen if I were to move to Thailand without finishing paying my U.S. student debt? Nothing. I hadn't finished paying mine. I haven't finished paying mine. Nothing's happened to me. Eddie says, never have regrets. It's two big mistakes I made the last few years led me to discovering a new idea early this year. Happy days. Good job, Eddie. Prep for it said, good question, Blue Ranch. I mean, Eric says, I must have missed your answer about how many students you have. Can you please repeat your? Oh, yeah. When I worked in the government school, I had between 30 and 15, depending on the class. And at the school I'm at now, I have between, I think my smallest class is 10, and my biggest class is 27, 26, somewhere in that neighborhood. So I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry. You're right, Eric. I neglected to answer that question. I appreciate you asking again. Because I had to do it all over again, I would probably have not bought a personal trainer at 10,000 baht motorbike. Yeah. I understand, man. I understand. Tim was talking to Jedi, says anything is possible. I've heard success stories, horror stories. One needs to be cautious with salary and living expenses. 100%. Eddie says being homeless in Taiwan led me to a town in Australia where discovered an idea for another bloke. Good reflection. Emma said, but it could be possible to live abroad while paying off student loans. Yeah, people, plenty of people do it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I have done it myself. I mean, I've been paying on mine, but you know, it's with the interest rates that they put on them, you're never going to get them paid off. So it is what it is. I mean, you might at some point, but if you owe a ton of money like I do, then I don't know. Build yourself a business, very lucrative. Make a startup, do something that's going to make a lot of money. Rick says, hey Rick, good to see you, man. He says, what's up, big fella? Tell me what is the difficulty or non-difficult to using credit cards over there from the US? Is it seamless, or do you have to apply for a card in Thailand, rent hotel, for example? This is still mostly a cash based society. But there are many places that you can use your debit card if you have a bank in Thailand. And there are also many places that I use my American debit card at. Like when I book hotels online, that site that I use to book hotels when I travel is linked to my American debit card. So it just kind of depends. Like you can't use it at 7-Eleven. That's kind of a weird thing. But most of the grocery stores, Tops, Macro, some of those things, you can use an American debit card there. It's no problem. You only have to look at your bank and look how much the fee is for you to use that credit card or debit card over here for flights or for big expenses, that kind of thing. It's kind of seamless to use your credit card. So Thailand is advancing rapidly in that area, in my opinion. Walking says, DoMoreLife, don't let life do you over. Yeah, exactly. I use cash for everything. Haven't owned a credit card in 10 years now. Same here. I haven't owned a credit card in, it's probably been, how old am I? 39? It's probably been about 18 years since I've had a credit card. Roger McGee says, I'll be in and out. Come on, guys. Let's hit that $100. Yeah, I agree with you, bro. Let's hit that $100. We're making progress. Let's see what we're up to right now. And I'll tell you, we have 25 from you, then 10, 35, 10 more, 45, 10 more, 55. So we only have $45 to go. to hit that 100. Appreciate you coming on and saying that, Roger. Thank you very much, man. Mike says that Rick, only recommendation I would add is always, if you can, choose to have the merchant charger Thai bot and let your bank do the currency conversion to USD. Usually a much better rate. It's a good point, Mike. It's a very good point. So hopefully, if anything like that happens to you guys, or hopefully if you use your card, you'll follow Mike's advice, and that will really help you out. But coming over to Thailand without a game plan like I did is not advisable. But I was out of options. I did not want to go back to America. I probably could have, but there was nothing in America that I wanted any part of. And I'm so glad that things worked out the way they did. I always say, if you do the right thing for the right reason long enough, good things will happen to you. And that has certainly been the case. We've seen it here on this channel, in fact. Rick says, how long did it take you to get used to driving on the left side of the road? A couple weeks, really, to be honest with you. Actually, a couple months, to be totally honest. It's now I'm fine with it, but it's at first it's really weird because you see a motorbike coming at you, and you're like, you're in the wrong lane, and then you have to move over. It feels weird, man. It feels weird. Maybe because I'm not doing it. Was there a learning curve? Yeah, definitely a learning curve. Definitely a learning curve. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the learning curve. There's a learning curve to just about everything here in Thailand, and including the language. And I look forward to that learning curve too, because that's going to be a long working process. Prep for it says, for birthdays and Christmas, everyone should ask for Thai baht. I know that nowhere in Pattaya except pay-as-you-go credit cards. Yeah, that's a pretty good assessment. If you're going to a tourist destination like Samui or Phuket or Pattaya, somewhere like that, you're probably going to need cash. The only reason you would need your credit card is if you have to go, or debit card, is if you have to pull more money out of the ATM, which I don't advise doing because the rates are horrible. Mike says, fastest way to learn how to drive on the left is drive on the right. That's very true. That's very, very true. Good point. If you drive on the right long enough, you will learn to drive on the left for sure. That's funny. And that's very funny. And he's up in a place that I would like to see at some point in time. Those beautiful empty beaches up there. You person. I would like to see. I wish we had some of this time off, to be honest, because I would like to go see some of the beaches that I will have to wait until holiday season comes around to get to go see. Eric says, I'm so over the everyday grind here in the U.S. So was I, brother. So was I. Problem is, how do you get rid of 30 years of acquiring stuff? I guess the goal to retirement in Thailand is a simple, not materialistic life. Absolutely. Yeah, 30 years of acquiring stuff. The question is, that stuff, do you still need it? Does it serve a purpose in your life? Is there a reason for you to hang on to it forever? That's the way I look at it. I left a bunch of stuff behind in the Philippines. So, and I've learned to embrace a much more non-materialistic lifestyle here. So it works. Jedi says, my birthday is on the last week of February. Is that a good time to travel to Thailand, specifically Walking Street? I don't know if Walking Street is going to be there, bro, when it comes to February. But if it is, sure, why not? You can go to Pattaya any time of the year, and have a good time. If you want a lot more tourists around you, just be sure you're in the high season. But I would come in the low season myself. Stuck says, Mike, I almost hit a truck head on in Jamaica on a curb while I was on a bike. Yep, didn't make that mistake again. That's so true. Cash is king. Walking ATM, 100%. Todd says, I'm leaving it in my apartment. All right, Dan. Mike, I'm going to all these places so we know where to hang out and do more life. See what I did just then? Yeah, I like that. That was a good one, man. That was a good one. Very good. Yeah, it is a great time to be here, for sure. Doorman says, let who never gets it. Yard sale, says Joseph Pinto. Yeah, yard sale is a good idea. Doorman says 2 75-inch TVs. I live in an apartment. Hard to have a yard sale. That would be true. It's February, high season. Why can I never get this question right? Somebody will tell you in the comment section in just a second, Jedi. I get confused when the high and the low season is. I think the high season is would it be in the summer or be in the winter? I think it's in the winter. I think the high season starts around November. If I'm not mistaken. It goes to yes, February is still in the high season. Thank you, Stuck. Appreciate it. Eric says, wouldn't that be a bummer after all these years never ever having been to Walking Street that it would not be there anymore by the time I get there? That would be a bummer. That would definitely be a bummer. But at the same time, there'll be plenty more. This Thailand is going to recover, and the tourist spots will recover as well. It's just a matter of time, really. And I saw some news this morning about how hard they are pushing to reopen tourism in Thailand, and eventually somebody's going to have to say, we got to let people back in at some point. They're going to have to. How soon they do that, I don't know. I would look for it first of the year, maybe a couple weeks into next year, but you never know, man. Hey, Cody, late to the show, bro, but good to see you. Rick says, hey, Jeremy, one weekend when you can't think of a topic, please do Visa for Dummies. So many videos, so many opinions. You're a trusted source. Thanks, man. I'm a retired cop. Can't wait to go to Thailand. Sure will. Any specific visa you need to know about? Jedi says, what would be a backup area for Walking Street? LK Metro. LK Metro would be a backup area. Doorman says, not just Phuket, too. Yeah, that's true. Jedi says, maybe that was a dumb question. Not really. LK Metro would be a good backup area, but then you've also got in Pattaya in the city, in the Beach Road area right there. You've got pretty much any, the nightlife is all over the place. Yes, it's good to see Cody. Think it will be a couple more months. They think it will be a couple more months. I agree, Doorman. That's what I read this morning, or that's what I heard on the news this morning too. Cody says, I'd like to know about retirement visa, and it's probably in most of our plans here. Yeah, so the first thing I could tell you about the retirement visa right now is Thailand has said they are not issuing any new retirement visas until after the first of the year. They have said that. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, if you're on a retirement visa and you're in a country and you are on a that retirement visa is initially a 90-day visa, just like almost every other non-immigrant visa is. So after that 90 days, you get your 1-year visa extension. You are then on a visa extension, a retirement visa extension. And if you had to get leave for whatever for 6 months or something like that, you can come back to Thailand with that visa extension. But if you don't have a retirement visa now, you, according to sources, you will not be able to get that 90-day initial retirement visa until after the first of the year. Hey guys, do you check in once a year or once every 3 months? It'd be once every 3 months for most people. There are some exceptions. Prep for it says the first days of my vacation back in Pattaya, I will be supporting all the bars and restaurants that handed out food during the past few months. We all know why. That's right. They actually had the Pattaya News had a video up about that, and in the news source that I read this morning. Eric says, granted, you live in Philippines. How long does it take to get used to the heat and humidity? I see it's 91 already in the Philippines. It took me a while. It took me a while in the Philippines. It took me a while when I got to Thailand because, in my opinion, Bangkok's, year round, Bangkok has the highest temperature of any city on earth. Average temperature. I don't know if you guys knew that, but it took me longer to get adjusted in Bangkok when I first got here before I went to Rayon than it did just about any other place. So, the humidity, you're going to sweat, you're going to be sticky, all that stuff, man. Cody says when you check in, you are basically showing where you live and your funds. Yeah, okay. Took me a minute to understand that. Doorman says, heard they're talking to allow editing retirees to start coming back. Then very well may be. Doorman. I just hadn't heard it yet. It wouldn't surprise me. That's another thing about the immigration, the visas and everything. It's hard to do video on visas, even though I will. I'll tell you a little bit about them, but the specifics I always stay away from because they change. Every month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, they just change. So I don't know. Carl K, what's up, man? He says, with everything going on here, politically, socially, and economically, how freaking thankful are you that you are there and not in the States? Well, earlier I said I was extremely grateful that I'm here and not in the States. This is definitely the place to be for me. I love Thailand. I really enjoy it here. Existing. He said, heard they're talking to allow existing retirees to start coming back. Yes, they are. That will be after diplomats and people with special visas, smart visas, spousal visas, and the visa for having a child here in Thailand. Those are going to take first priority, and then after that, you should see retirements come back. And hopefully after that, we'll have some actual tourist visas going on. If you didn't catch the stream yesterday, you might want to go look at it. We talked about the new proposed long stay tourist visa, which is basically a 9-month tourist visa. And you can read all the details about that. If it comes to pass and they pass that into law, then I'll do a video on it. Rick says, Cody says humidity here is 90%, 100 degrees, 3 months out of the year. That's about what you're going to get in Bangkok. Maybe not 90% humidity every day and not quite 100 degrees, but you're going to get a lot of humidity and a high temperature pretty much every day in Bangkok. Rick says, I guess visas at the tourist level first. I want to stay over for at least a year before I decide to move. But you can't stay here on a tourist visa for a year at the time. As of right now, Thai law says you can't stay here on a tourist visa more than 6 months out of the calendar year. Now, they're talking about obviously doing this 9-month tourist visa. That may be a possibility for you. But a year is a great time to stay, a good long time to stay, but I just feel like you would know within your 6 months of staying here, whether or not you would want to move. I feel like within 6 months you could do that. Definitely within 9 months, I think you'd be okay. But that's just me. You may need a year. I don't know. Jedi says, how long does it take to get a certificate in TESOL, teaching high school in English or health ed? Okay, so the TEFL and TESOLs just teach you how to be a teacher. They don't. They're not in any field of study. That's teaching English as a foreign language, and I forgot what the TESOL stands for. So I did mine in 3 days. Some programs take a couple months, some take a couple weeks. It just depends on what you want to do. You were asking, says Cody, about the weather. Wait, hang on. Let me see. Sorry, bud. Let me see what you said here. It says humidity here is 90% and 100 degrees 3 months out of the year. Is that what you were asking? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry about that. Doorman says, but everything is only talk. I've seen about the 9-month visa. Yeah, it's all talk right now. Definitely talk. Cody says, humid, hot weather I'd rather have than Minnesota weather. Oh, yeah, me too. Hey, thanks for putting up the PayPal link there, Robert. We are only, $45 away from our goal? Because you and Roger set a goal this morning, or put out the challenges to make the $100 today. So we have 25, 35, 45, 55. Yep, $45 away from meeting that challenge that you guys put out, which I greatly appreciate. Rick says, I'm sure some people do, but do you have to give up citizenship for the U.S. No. You can get permanent residency here. It's very hard, very hard to do. And you can actually get citizenship here too. But you don't have to give up your American citizenship. Jedi says, I meant TEFL. Same thing. It's just teaching you how to manage a classroom. Eric says, I guess the older I get, I won't mind it so hot right now. It's got to be 73 degrees for me to sleep comfortably. Yeah, it would have to be a little bit cooler than that for me to sleep comfortably. I usually sleep with it pretty cool. Well, 3 days. What certificate was that for? That was the TEFL. The TEFL that I currently have. And the reason it took me 3 days is because I wasn't working at the time, and I literally spent 3 days doing all the modules online, and just got it done. Stuck says, Rick, no, it's actually hard to get Thai citizenship, and there is no dual citizenship that I know of. I know one dual citizen here. Stuck, not just a PR either, not just a permanent resident, but it's a dual citizen. I worked with him for months, so I guess it's possible. I don't know. Cody says, no, I was asking on what you are showing in a visa retirement check-in. Oh, when you're showing the check-in, yeah. It would be when you do a check-in, all you're doing on the check-in, with the retirement visa, you may have to show a balance in the bank account because they require, or a balance of income, because if you're single and you're on a retirement visa, you have to have either 800,000 baht in a Thai bank, or you have to have 65,000 baht a month coming in, and you have to be able to prove it. But a check-in is usually just a check-in for address. So you go and you check in your address, and then you're done, and no big deal. With the retirement visa, you may have to show funds. It depends on which immigration office you go to. Some would, some wouldn't. Yes, need more thumbs up. We're only 13 away from our goal. That's great. Cody says Spain is one of the very few I've read that you have to denounce your home citizenship. Yeah, I wouldn't go to a place like that. Roger says thumbs up, numb nuts. I like that. Mango's talking to Doorman. He says, I see that your plan was to go to Cambodia, wait out to enter Thailand. However, when I went to Cambodia website, it says it's not issuing visas at this time. Interesting. Are they part Thai, dual citizenship? Yes. Stuck in Florida. Yes, they're part Thai. Because he has a Thai ID card, which would make sense why that would be Thai dual citizenship. I don't know if you can get. I know as a foreigner you can get permanent residency here, which is kind of like a equivalent to a green card. But that requires working for 3 years straight. You got to speak fluent Thai, and you got to have a lot of money. So that's a hard one to get. Let's see. Carl says, how did you show proof of your college degree for TEFL? Did you have to request a certified copy of your diploma? No, I have my original diploma and original transcripts with me. So it was no problem to picture fax it in, so to speak. Roger says, I read if you fly into Cambodia and test positive, you are on the hook for the expense of putting all other passengers to. Oh man, that would be bad. That would be really, really bad. I certainly hope that doesn't happen to anyone. That would be, yeah. I would really, really hope that doesn't happen to anyone, because that would be kind of rough. And I would feel feel very, very bad. About people coming in like that. But they've even they're putting some people in queue here, and somehow while in queue they're testing. So I don't know, it's negative, then all of a sudden one day it's not negative. So I don't know exactly what I don't know about it. I just worry about the travel aspects of it, and about the value that we all can get from sharing information with each other about it. Roger, I read that. Doorman says at Mango Sticky Rice, I am getting my elite visa in New York City and going to Cambodia on the 29th, and there is a tour company doing 2 flights a month to Bangkok, and I plan on being on the second flight in October. Good for you, man. Good for you. I certainly hope you get back in. They actually, Integrity Legal released a video this morning. He mentioned the elite visas and said that they should be coming back online in October. So, yeah. Yeah. Doorman, you got a good point there. I'm not going to read that out loud, but you got a good point. Very good point. So guys, I was originally just telling you, I told you about my first day in Thailand. I got a bunch of stuff to do today, so I guess we will start to shut this thing down. Unfortunately, we didn't hit our goal today, but that's okay. We came within $45 of the monetary goal that we set, and we're within 12 likes of the goal that we set. And I'm totally cool with all that, by the way. Joseph says thumbs up. I will tell you all that it will be maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, and you will get a video from Pattaya. And then at some point, I'm going to be putting out, do like I did last week and give you a news update. It'll be a live stream at approximately 5:30 p.m. Bangkok time, which is like 6:30 a.m. on the East Coast, and you guys can watch it anytime out through the day. Chad says the items needed for a certificate of entry is lengthy. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure about that. That's been made very, very clear. So definitely, Chad, good comment. Doorman says everyone has to be flying to Cambodia. That is why there is a 99% chance you won't be on the hook for the 2K. I like that. One more like given, says Carl K. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it very much. Eric says, since we like it cold in our homes, is it difficult to find a Thai woman that doesn't mind the cold room? No, it's not really, because they will wrap themselves up in enough covers or pajamas or whatever. Shouldn't have a problem. Definitely shouldn't have a problem. And Stuck says, good luck. I don't know. I'll tell you guys, my experience has been that it hasn't been too much of a problem. I had to make one compromise one time on the AC, but that was it. So you do make a good point there, Eric, that when it's 70 degrees outside, all the Thais are wearing hoodies and jackets and long pants and everything like it's winter time. It's a big difference in what you would see like in the States. So perhaps you have your own fan blowing on you or something, or something. You would have to come up with a way or negotiate. That would be my better suggestion to you. Would be negotiate with your Thai girlfriend. Roger says, smart visa. I can't even get a stupid visa. Me too, man. Oh, wow. We got 10 more coming in. Only 35 away now. All you can eat street food, brother. I will do that for sure. I'm going to cover up the top right there, but all you can eat street food with a $10 contribution. That's with $10, man, you can eat, you can really go get some street food and eat for $10. So let's see. Yeah, you can definitely do some eating for sure. Thank you very much for that contribution. I appreciate it very much. Todd says, I wear a hoodie when it's 32. Anything below then, I wear a coat. Carl K says, when she says we need to compromise, she means your concession. Yeah, I agree with that, Carl. Stuck says, if it's just for a day or finances involved, she may be a little more accommodating. True. Chad says, do you ever cook at home with all the food available? I do, occasionally, but the thing about it is, I can go get my lunch sometimes only costs 35 to 40 baht, which is just a little over $1. Definitely less than $2. I can eat lunch, a good lunch. And on the way home for, $2 or $3, I can get a plate of food if I want to, for that amount of money. And it makes cooking a little oh, we got another PayPal in. Doorman, take care, brother. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for coming by, man. Oh, this is from Joseph. Joseph! He hit the 35 so we would hit our mark. Man, I love you guys. I love you guys so freaking much. Y'all just make things happen, man. Y'all just make things happen. And there's 10 more coming in from. You can say my name. It's okay. Have some street food on me. Okay. So I'll put his name up there. Have some street food on me. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. 100%. Michael in Oregon, hello to you, sir. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you are doing well. Jumping right back. But yeah, Todd, take care, man. And thanks for coming by. Thanks, guys, for meeting the goal today. That was really, 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 really nice of you. I appreciate that very, very much. So Carl says, and tell her when she's being emotionally irrational, emotions are a useful servant, but a terrible master. That's so true. Eric says, that's great, guys. Yeah, it was for sure. Stuck in Florida says, Carl K, I'm sure that will help with the Thai lady. Yeah, it's all emotion based over there, over here for sure. If you haven't given this video a thumbs up, a like, please feel free to do so. If you like the content, I appreciate it very much. We hit our goal today, and we went a little bit over today. Actually, we went a little bit over yesterday. So the channel is having a good weekend, and you're going to get some good content coming up this week for me. I think that I can do at least one news media session a week, and do that by live stream so that I don't have to edit and cut and all that stuff like I did last week, to keep you guys apprised on what's going on. And I've got at least 2 videos that I can put out next week for from when I was in Pattaya last weekend. 10 likes away from 50. That's where we are. Jedi says, a great informative stream. Definitely will stay tuned for more. A new subscriber for sure. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jedi Chris. I appreciate the subscription 100%. Means a lot to me. And if you want to get more out of the channel, consider becoming a channel member. It's only $3 a month. So that's entirely up to you. But we're glad to have you aboard. Welcome to the DoMoreLife family, because this is a family, guys. Eric says, looks like it's going to be separate bedrooms for me. It might be, man. It might be. That I've seen that happen, but it that tends to put a dampening on things for some reason. I'm not sure why. Carl says, LOL stuck. I then play her that scene in As Good as It Gets, where Jack Nicholson is asked how he writes a woman so well, or how it goes over so well. Stuck in Florida says, thanks everyone for joining the live stream, and a special thanks to all those who helped with the travel fund. 100%. Our travel fund is there to purchase equipment and to travel. So when I do have holidays, we have money in the till, or if my camera breaks, we have more stuff in there, and or more money to get that. And as One Hungry Traveler promised, if we got 50, he would give 10 more. So boom. Thank you very much, One Hungry Traveler. Thank you. It's been a wonderful day. Eric says, I would like to see you do a video buying all the fruit on a push cart, then giving it away to all the Thai people. I could do something similar to that, but you have to be careful about, that would be considered a charity video. You have to be very careful about doing charities over here. That's a very complicated subject, Eric, and I would love to do it myself, but I'm not sure how much of it I could record, just because it's kind of weird. And yes, Mark, to answer your question, I have taken some Muay Thai lessons, but not many, because my back just won't hold up. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut it off here. Got a lot to do today, like I said. Thank you guys so much that contributed monetarily. Thank my wonderful, awesome, amazing moderators for everything that they do. Thank you all for your wonderful questions and your involvement. New subscribers, thank you. Welcome aboard. This is a family. We help each other in here, and that's what we do on the weekends. Content coming this week, so look forward to that, guys. And you are, once again, please share. Joseph, thank you so much for your large contribution today. I appreciate that. And Roger and One Hungry Traveler, just can't thank you enough for that. And everybody else that contributed that I can't say their name, I really appreciate it. Michael, thank you. I'm honored, truly honored that you guys find enough value in the channel, and in my content to kick out cash like that, over and over. I really appreciate it, guys. I do. You have my utmost respect, and I hope I have yours. So I will see you guys about midweek sometime, probably on a live stream to catch you up on any news in Thailand, and be looking forward to the content. By all means, if you find your favorite Do More Life video and it meets the parameters for you to share on social media, please share videos. That is the best way to help the channel grow. And as the channel grows, of course, we get bigger and bigger, and eventually we get free and we get to travel for a living. That's the goal. PBJ time, thank you. You have a good day, Jedi. Thank you, Joseph. Have a good day. Stuck. Mike, everybody that was in here or done anything to help the channel in any way, I just, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it. And I will see you guys next time. I love you guys. Thank you for being part of the Do More Life family. And remember, whatever you do today, do more life. Peace.